I ain't doing this one. We can have all the fun we want with these video games and this showcase and these fantasy matchups like Offensica versus Bubba Ray and Diva. I'm not doing shtick about Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. That's a little too volatile. And it's way too personal for Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins came up together in the Shield. And Seth Rollins took it upon himself to disband the Shield by blindsiding Roman Reigns with a chair. At WrestleMania 31, Roman Reigns, in the main event of WrestleMania, was about to win the WWE title when Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank and stole the main event, the match, and the title from Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns lost the undisputed championship after almost 4 years, the greatest title reign of all time, to Cody Rhodes. Not because Cody Rhodes was the better man, but because Seth Rollins was right there. And the seduction, the bloodlust that Roman Reigns had for that moment of revenge was too much for Roman Reigns to give up. And for the first time in Roman Reigns' life, he took his eye off the ball for that much time and smashed Seth Rollins with a chair, the same way Seth did a decade earlier to Roman. And that moment gave Cody Rhodes all he needed to end the most historic title reign in WWE history. I'm supposed to do shtick about Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for a showcase? I mean, it's smart, because the next time Roman Reigns steps into the ring with Seth Rollins will be the last time Seth Rollins steps into a ring. Next time Roman Reigns gets his hands on Seth Rollins, you won't have your architect anymore. You won't have your visionary anymore. You won't have your revolutionary anymore. You will have your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, but you'll never again have Seth freaking Rollins. Roman Reigns will put an end to Seth Rollins in WWE. And then the only way you'll ever be able to see Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins will be in the WWE 2K25 showcase. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins from the 2022 Royal Rumble. And that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
The big question as we kick off Royal Rumble, will Roman survive tonight?
Well, the man who's walking down the aisle here in front of 44,000 plus is the greatest champion of all time, transcending the business. And tonight, it's personal. For 17 months, Roman Reigns has dominated everyone. And luckily for Roman, he's had a special counsel and his cousins to help him keep cool, keep focused, and concentrate on the business at hand.
Now Paul Heyman is gone, and the Usos are barred from ringside. And without those calming forces, Corey, cracks started to form last night in Roman's armor.
No telling how Roman's going to handle things on his own. It's been years since he competed on his own, but that's the situation we're seeing right now for the Tribal Chief. In recent weeks, Seth Rollins touched on the one thing that Roman Reigns has not been able to get over: the dissolution of the Shield at the hands of Seth Rollins.
Roman Reigns is a loyal man, a family man, and what Seth Rollins did to his family was cowardly in the eyes of the head of the table, the Tribal Chief, the man who was blessed by the gods of sports entertainment.
Corey, on SmackDown last night, we saw one thing that we haven't seen out of Roman Reigns. We saw Roman Reigns lose his cool.
Look at this. Even more mind games from Rollins. As we heard that music pop right there, the Shield, you can't help but have a little nostalgia. You can't help but think back to the glory days of when the Shield would go to town, beating everybody down.
Until that man right there, Seth freaking Rollins, decided to tear it apart.
Seth Rollins says he knows Roman Reigns so well. He knows how to prey on the insecurities of the Universal Champion. He knew there was one thing that Reigns will never get over, and that is that Seth Rollins chose to end the Shield.
The infamous blow to the back of Roman Reigns with a steel chair many years ago, which broke up perhaps the greatest faction in WWE history. Well, tonight, Rollins will use that to get in the head of the champ and win the Universal title.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the Universal Championship. Introducing the challenger from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 217 pounds, Seth freaking Rollins.
It's been interesting watching Reigns throughout these introductions, muttering to himself at times. Honestly, Rollins seems to be in Roman's head. Bell rings and the WWE Universal title is on the line. Roman Reigns, over 500 days as Universal Champion, but nobody has been in his head like his old brother-in-arms, Seth Rollins.
Well, Seth freaking Rollins tore that brotherhood apart 8 years ago, and we can now see that the Tribal Chief never truly recovered from that night.
Well, speaking of family, the Usos have been banned from ringside, and last month, Roman fired Heyman from the Bloodline. So right now, the head of the table needs to win without any allies by his side.
Gentlemen, for 17 months, Roman Reigns has dominated. He had special counsel and cousins to help him stay in control, to keep his cool, to concentrate on the business at hand. But now Paul Heyman is gone, and the Usos are barred from ringside.
Without those calming forces, cracks have started to show. Every comment Rollins has made about their past cuts deeper. Every mind game breaks Roman's spirit even further. This might be the toughest physical battle the Tribal Chief has faced, but it definitely is his toughest mental battle. Clothesline!
Roman certainly seems out of his comfort zone right now, guys.
Reigns and his comfort zone aren't even in the same zip code tonight, Cole. Unless he can snap out of it fast, he's going to make a mistake that Rollins will capitalize on.
And Reigns is really fired up.
Sliding back into the ring.
And Reigns unleashes the Superman punch.
Absolutely laid Rollins out. And now Reigns can finally overcome his former Shield brother.
Setting up for something here.
All the way down.
Seth Rollins says he knows Roman Reigns so well, and says he knows how to prey on the insecurities of the Universal Champion.
Rollins knew there was one thing that Roman Reigns could never, ever get over. That it was Seth Rollins who chose to end the Shield.
That blow to the back of Roman Reigns with a steel chair so many years ago broke up perhaps the greatest faction in WWE history. Who would have thought that moment would still loom so large and be the biggest key to victory for Seth freaking Rollins?
Delivered into the barricade. I hate to say this, but the Tribal Chief has become extremely frazzled without the benefit of having the Bloodline by his side.
Every little move Rollins makes seems to put Reigns on edge. This outfit, the Shield's entrance music. I bet if Rollins gave Roman a fist bump, it would make the Tribal Chief go nuclear.
Taking this thing out onto the floor now. Reigns just imposing his will right now.
And you can see Seth is being run into the ground by Roman.
Climbing up those ropes now. He's looking to go high risk from the top rope. From the top.
Took a leap of faith and connected perfectly. This could be just what they needed. I have to admit, it's a pretty cold move for Rollins to just take the years of history the Shield had and turn it into a joke here tonight.
It's appalling, Saxton. Rollins has always treated that sacred history as a joke. Now we know that Roman Reigns is a loyal man, a family man. What Seth Rollins did to his family 8 years ago was cowardly. Now it's time for Rollins to pay.
Reigns with a Superman punch.
Reigns once again solidifying his legacy through his actions.
Rollins getting worked on here.
The power and rage of the Tribal Chief is just overwhelming Rollins here.
That hit next from Roman Reigns.
Oh, that is going to leave a mark.
Rollins being put under the guillotine. This is the biggest, and he breaks his own submission.
Maybe his plan was just to soften his opponent with that hold.
Oh, God, what a shot to the face.
By
Chance to retain here. The champ might have put this one to bed.